Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into one of the most mind-bending operations in the business world. How do you take a giant corporation, split it in two, and not have the whole thing just fall apart?
You can almost think of it like a corporate divorce. You've got two massive entities that were once totally intertwined. Now they have to separate everything: their people, their assets, and the most complicated part of all, their shared financial lifeblood.
And believe me, this isn't just a bunch of paperwork. It is a high-stakes, super complex puzzle with a deadline that is absolutely set in stone. At the very center of it all is a specialized team, and their job is to make sure that when that split happens, both new companies can actually function from day one. So who is this team? Well, these unsung heroes of the whole process work in a department you might not think about every day: the corporate treasury. Now, you might hear treasury and just think of the folks who manage the company's bank accounts, but that's kind of old school. Today, their role is way more strategic. They're not just guarding the cash anymore. They're key advisors to the CEO and the board. And in a situation like this, they're basically mission control. And their mission, it is huge. They've got to find financing for the new company, build an entire treasury department from the ground up, and somehow navigate a crazy web of global regulations. But the number one thing, the part that absolutely cannot fail, is making sure that new company is 100% ready to go on day one. That's a promise to investors, and you just don't miss those.
Okay, so you're the treasury team. You're facing this colossal task. Where do you even start? Well, you have to make a huge strategic choice right at the beginning, and this one decision is going to shape the entire project.
Do you mirror what already exists, basically clone everything? All the processes, the banking relationships, the works. It's way faster, and everyone knows the system. Or do you build a brand new treasury from scratch? This way, you can create a perfectly customized, super efficient machine, but it's going to take a lot more time and a lot more money. It's that classic trade-off, right? Speed versus perfection. And that big decision? It immediately ripples down into the technology, what I like to call the company's financial nervous system. I mean, how do you even begin to separate the complex tech that moves billions of dollars around the world every single day? Well, again, there are two main paths. Physical separation is pretty much what it sounds like. You build a whole new, identical system on brand new hardware. Logical separation is a little more subtle. It's like taking the existing system and building a digital wall right down the middle, so each company's data and users are kept completely apart. Both of these have massive consequences for the timeline, the cost, and just how complicated this whole thing gets. All right, so once the blueprint is locked in, it is time to start laying the pipes. This is where the treasury team gets down to the massive job of building the new company's financial foundation, one piece at a time. And they are definitely not doing this alone. The treasury team is really the central coordinator, the hub of the wheel. They're constantly talking to tax, legal, IT, finance, everyone. In an operation this complex, they're the quarterback calling all the plays. Now, to really get what they're up against, you have to see what they're starting with. It's often a tangled mess. A giant corporation can have dozens, sometimes hundreds of bank accounts for every little purpose, scattered across all these different legal entities. Sure, it works, but it's also incredibly inefficient and really expensive. And this is where you see the hidden opportunity in all this chaos. A divestiture isn't just about separating things. It's a golden chance to actually make things better. By untangling that mess, they can consolidate accounts, slash bank fees, and build a way more efficient financial system for the new company. But listen, even opening a single new bank account is a total marathon. Just look at this 8-step process. It pulls in the business side, legal, tax, IT, and of course, the bank. It's this painstaking step-by-step journey that you have to do over and over again for every single account the new company needs, all around the world. And that's before you even get to configuring it and all the internal systems and testing to make sure the money actually flows. So as all these different pieces finally start coming together, the pressure just builds and builds. And it all leads to the final frantic phase, the race to day one. The timelines we're talking about here are just staggering. Just getting the new bank account set up and open can take up to 7 months. 7! And why so long? It's mostly because of these complex know your customer rules, where banks have to verify every little detail about the company. And those rules are different in every single country. And at the exact same time, there's another giant clock ticking. Building the secure digital connections, the pipelines between the company systems and the bank systems, that can take another 6 months. So you have these two massive long-term projects running in parallel, and if one of them gets delayed, the whole split is in jeopardy. So, how do they possibly succeed with those kinds of odds? Well, this quote from a report on a real Fortune 100 split says it all. The secret sauce is a rock-solid plan and just constant communication. The Treasury team is on the phone with their banking partners all the time, clearing roadblocks and making sure things keep moving forward. In those final weeks, it all comes down to a critical checklist. They have to test every single payment process from start to finish, move huge amounts of historical data, make sure every single account balance is right, and clean up who has access to what. Only after all of that is done can they go to management for that final sign-off. And this last phase, it is just an intense, rapid-fire process. Tests are going to fail. It's inevitable. And when they do, the teams have to swarm the problem immediately. Like this quote says, real-time communication is everything. A problem that pops up in the morning has to be fixed by the afternoon so it can be tested again overnight. There is zero room for delay. But the results, when it all works, can be incredible. Check out this real-world case of a $120 billion tech company splitting in two. They chose that clone strategy to be fast, but they used the opportunity to totally clean up their banking structure. The outcome? They ended up with fewer bank accounts and set up automated systems to manage their cash better. Both new $60 billion companies started out leaner and more efficient from day one. So, here's the bottom line. Splitting a company is so much more than a legal or financial deal. It is a masterclass in project management and strategy and in just relentless execution, all orchestrated by that Treasury team working against the clock. It's really an amazing feat of financial architecture, and it's all done under some of the most intense pressure imaginable. So the next time you see a headline about a big company spinning something off, you'll know about the incredible, invisible work of the teams that are literally building a new financial world from scratch.